Hey guys, you've got Scruffy and Jinyo as we are nearing the end of season 1 as part of our challenge to watch an episode of Star Trek a day to celebrate 50 years of the original series. So we are now on episode 28.
Episode 28, but in production order,
Yes.
It was episode 28.
So we're all even up there. This is City on the Edge of Forever, which is, I'm going to say inarguably, considered the best episode of the entire series. You know, everyone's going to have their different favorite episodes, but pretty much unanimously, everyone always counts this as
everyone picks this more than anything else. So
let's see why.
Well, we all know why. Come on, this is your first time watching Star Trek.
There might be a few.
All right, so we're going to start that right now.
Great pan of the Enterprise model.
Mm-hmm. They reuse those shots over and over.
Shh.
Oh, things are shaking up already.
Got Sulu, thankfully, at helm, and you said it's Bill Blackburn?
Yep, Bill Blackburn.
Who I feel like probably is actually the navigator far more than Chekhov. Except poor Blackburn never got any lines.
Right.
Sucks to be
and that over-the-shoulder shot where
Yeah.
they're showing the screen, I don't know when they shot that,
Mhm.
but they reuse that so much.
Right? It's
So
older,
much.
like, film grainy, too. Like,
Yeah,
footage.
yeah.
So I feel like you know it's bad when Scotty's up on the bridge.
Mhm. Oh, no!
And when things explode in your
Sulu
face.
disappeared in a puff of smoke.
And when things
a puff of
explode in
smoke.
your
Oh,
face.
thank God, no, he's still
Aw,
there.
he's in the arms of a beautiful
still
lady. You know, I don't think I've seen that yeoman before, or just that girl. I mean, I've seen other
No.
uh
Plus
Asian-related
she's just
women.
wearing a tricorder.
I know, like she's ready to go somewhere,
Uh-huh.
but
Yes.
I mean,
Is
tricorder.
she dressed for going out? Is this going out for
This
her?
is apparently going out for her is going to the bridge
Uh-huh.
to take down some things.
Speaking of going
That's it.
out,
Yes.
McCoy
He's
is
got
here.
his purse. He's
That's
ready.
right, because now he's got to treat somebody.
I wonder if anyone knows why Uhura has that
Black band on
yeah,
her
I
arm.
mean, that usually denotes honoring someone who has died, but...
Well, then you would wear it like higher up.
I know, but maybe they decided... I don't know, that's why I can't figure it out.
Kind of weird.
Oh, God, that eyeshadow
Okay, yeah.
is phenomenal.
Well,
Phenomenal.
Sulu's happy.
Yes.
Oh, you were about to tell me how to do my job, Jim?
It's like, people like to joke about why they have makeup on, as like, oh, Spock actually goes and puts on makeup daily or something
Mhm.
like that, and it's like, that's fun to think about, but it's just what comes with the territory of being an actor.
Yeah,
Everyone
on
wears
TV.
makeup, and especially then, you know, some of them would have rather aggressive eyeshadow on
Oh!
to highlight their eyes.
My
And
God,
oh god,
he just injected himself!
but it was like over and over and over, and it's still in him.
Crazy, yeah.
It was really bad.
It's like that scene in Pulp Fiction
Oh, God.
where they accidentally shoot the kid in the back seat.
Yeah.
Phil Lamar.
And it's like, rarely do we have a Bones-centric episode, and certainly never had one where he's lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah. It's kind of fun where he gets to go crazy.
Oh god.
You might want to
It's
call
like-
somebody.
It's like
on
a
your
really,
intercom.
it's a really scary thing though when he accidentally injects himself. Because it's not just all oopsie-doodles, it's oopsie-doodles, and then he keeps shaking and spinning around as, I guess it continues to
there's
be
the turbulence
injected
and there's
into
the
him.
drugs.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
So he's on basically straight up crack right now, and because we saw what it did, like a little bit did to Sulu, which was a little
Woke
weird.
him up and
Where
made him happy.
yeah, but I'm assuming an entire canister of that is making you loopy as all get out.
Probably. Now, those hypo sprays,
Yes.
I mean, it wouldn't have been any different if he was just using a regular, syringe.
Yes.
But apparently those hypo sprays were... One reason they use hypo sprays like that
Mhm.
is because it would have been against standards and practices to show, like, someone being injected.
Oh, like a needle going into
Yeah,
someone?
exactly.
So it's like,
So,
here's this magical
yeah,
thing
that's
that,
their
like,
high-tech
I mean,
way of
you
getting
press
around
it in. You're still pressing into them.
Yeah, I know. Everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah. 2 drops can save a man's
Yeah.
life.
You got 100 drops.
Which, he should be dead, is what it sounds like. He should be straight up dead.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not, but yeah. That's awful. I mean, he might just be insane for life now.
Yeah. No, everything's cool.
Yeah.
Everything's cool.
Everything's just fine.
Oh! Double judo chop!
I just like that because he's a doctor, he knows to get him like right in the kidney or something.
Uh-huh. And then again, we see you can just transport yourself down.
Which, if anyone can do it, what's the point of having
why do you need a
guy
transporter
to control? And she still has her armband on.
Yeah, interesting.
I know. So they've confirmed anyone who does this goes batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, definitely got that paranoia thing going on.
Yeah, so things are bad because his basically best friend is loose and completely insane, and has now used the transporter.
Yeah. Someone might want to go after him. Just saying. I mean, there was a security alert.
Meanwhile, time disturbance, whatever that is.
Yeah, they're going through time waves.
Time disturbance.
They had a security alert on as soon as McCoy ran out of there. Apparently that means nothing because there weren't like armed guards.
Yeah, it's not like watch the transporter room or lock down the transporter room.
Yeah,
or
someone try to find McCoy.
And despite the Asian chick having her tricorder on ready to go earlier, it's Uhura that comes down.
Yep.
Which is rad because is this like the only time we see Uhura as part of the landing party?
I don't know.
It is.
But it's very unusual.
Very rare.
Very unusual. We got Scotty.
I mean, because it's your communications. I mean, really, why is everyone here? Why is all the rest of your senior staff on the planet together? McCoy's insane. Sulu, I mean, kind of should be in sickbay a little bit. He's the only one up there. He's the only one
tended by the nurse, I guess.
Yeah, Sulu's the only one up there because your chief of engineering and now your communications officer are down there with them, which makes no sense to me.
Now, I read somewhere that they come down to this planet, and you see all these broken columns and everything.
Planet, and
it's like ruins, right?
Yes. Ruins.
Apparently, what I read was that the description of the area was it was supposed to be covered in ancient runes.
And
they misinterpreted it, and they covered it with ancient ruins.
Someone not know how to read, or they just heard it verbally?
I don't know.
Said, "Oh, ancient runes," and someone's like, "Ruins? Gotcha,
sure,
ruins.
Got it.
Okay,
bring up half a dozen Greek columns.
Yeah, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Greek Roman columns and a sparkle donut.
Right.
And man, it would have been such a different look if it had been
ancient runes.
Ancient carved, like, hieroglyphics everywhere.
It's kind of fun.
What?
Oh, he's looking kind of pale and blotchy.
Nothing's better than the sparkle donut, though. Like, I'm assuming maybe the sparkle donut would have always been there, but it just would have been
I don't think so, because I think that the production designer was actually on vacation.
It talks to
the
that.
main one. So when he came back and found, like, a glowing donut, it was like, what?
He was like, this is why I can't leave. This is why I can't go anywhere, because you make fucking donuts. Like, who does this?
Right.
But I love that donut.
But is it a donut, or is it a Stargate?
It's basically a Stargate.
Yeah, it is.
And then Stargate
it's a Stargate before Stargate.
And then Stargate stole it and made it, I guess, better. But I love the sparkle donut.
Was it better, though? Was it?
I mean, this Stargate talks to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it glows.
Mm-hmm.
All sparkly. And insults Spock, too, apparently.
Yeah.
It's amazing how wily a crazy man can be in evading capture.
Well, if you're going to be paranoid, then you're gonna...
You better do it well.
Yeah, you're gonna evade capture, because you're gonna think everyone's after you.
A time...
Mm-hmm.
Time machine!
Yeah.
I mean,
he's so fascinated by this, they've completely given up on looking for McCoy.
Your science knowledge is... His face is like, you insult me, donut? How could you? But then it's like, let me show you things.
Mm-hmm.
I never have visitors, so let me show you things.
Steam shower. Oh. It's the miracle of stock footage.
Yes. Amazing. Useful stock footage.
Mm-hmm. Now...
Uh-oh. Maybe they shouldn't have gotten distracted looking at a TV before there was a TV.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Well, that was convenient. Interesting, because I swore he had his, like, little belt on. His away team belt.
Yeah.
Which we never see him have that, you know? Oh. I just think this is, like, so adorable that, I mean, they've come down, discovered this crazy thing that is a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
And his first thought is like, dude, like, what a crazy random happenstance.
Yeah.
Time machine, friend lost his mind. Let's go back,
and fix
like, 6 hours and fix this.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that, right?
But see, here's the problem, is that with, like, what they've established in the show so far, is that they could already go back in time. They just have to slingshot around the sun.
I know.
Be very careful about it.
But this is conveniently right here.
And it's like...
Although it's only set on one setting.
If you could do that all the time, then why not just time travel back, you know, to fix all your problems?
They're not supposed to. He is not looking good.
Yeah, he looks like he's been making out with
the salt monster. Yeah, it's a little weird to, like, do such a similar makeup effect.
Well, I mean, there you had, like, the round sucker moment.
Yeah.
But still... definitely reminiscent. Oh,
and no one's watching him!
Yeah.
Why is no one watching him?
They suck at their job.
Oh, at least it looked like Kirk made an effort to grab him, but
yeah,
for nothing.
Right. I'm assuming he was trying to dive after him and not just ducking out of the way.
Let's go bye-bye.
Now, this episode was written by the legendary science fiction author Harlan Ellison. And one of the ways that this show distinguished itself was by courting as many established science fiction writers as they could. And Harlan Ellison was definitely the biggest one that they had gotten to work on the show.
Well, that's bad.
Now, there's a lot of controversy associated with Harlan Ellison working on this episode.
So much!
Because...
oh my God.
They had him rewrite it a couple times. I mean, again, this is a first season episode.
Yes.
You know, a lot of outside writers didn't have a grasp on the characters.
Yeah.
Not
so, I mean,
to the
he
degree
writes a story,
that Roddenberry
and
did.
then Roddenberry or the writers go in and go, this is a great idea or skeleton structure.
Yeah.
There's parts in here that are going to be great to use, but they're going to, like... they're gonna like deconstruct it and build it back into what's gonna work for them.
Well, typically,
he got like really offended,
typically they give the writer, a chance to rewrite.
Yes.
You know, with notes. But after a certain point, it's like, okay, we got to get this thing running. Yeah. And it's just faster to have someone on staff.
If they can't kind of jump into the ideas they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just more efficient to have someone on staff. In this case, Dorothy Fontana had a massive hand in rewriting the episode.
Because what you might want to write personally as your own original story is very different than what it needs to fit within existing characters and an existing vision going forward that's going to work within the series.
For example, at one point, Ellison had Spock and Kirk having, like, a big argument, you know, over, like, oh, well, you know, this is humanity, you know, no wonder. And then Kirk's like, well, you know, at least this drive is what got us off the planet 200 years faster than the Vulcans did.
And so they wouldn't insult each other like that.
Yeah,
they wouldn't.
That's not in character for them.
And also the fact that it was originally supposed to be these drugs. It wasn't supposed to be bones, for one. It's supposed to be these drugs that some other random yeoman or lieutenant is addicted to.
Right.
And they changed it to Bones getting basically a drug overdose by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not supposed to be...
Yeah, I mean, we have standards and practices to deal with.
Yes.
You know, the network's not going to let...
And it already kind of floated the kind of drug thing with Mudd's Women and this beauty drug, basically.
Right. And then... You know, on top of that, the episode as originally written would have been way too expensive.
Yeah.
As it stands, this episode was already, other than the pilots, the two pilots that they shot, this was the most expensive episode of the season. It was almost 30% more expensive than your average episode. So...
Yay! I love how it's like, and go! Hope we made it. Hope we made it.
But our timing is perfect, so it's fine.
Well, because Kirk is instantly excited. He's like,
Mhm.
hey, look at this. I had no idea if we're in the right spot, but
Yeah.
I love it. Hello, random studio lot.
And we're back in the Mayberry set of 40 Acres.
Oh my god, really?
Which is New York City now.
Oh my god, what a nerd. He knows
Yeah,
like every
I
time
know.
period related thing they go to.
Yeah.
That just implies that he has a great memory and or loves reading history books.
Right.
See, at least Spock immediately knows what he needs to
They're dressed
cover.
ridiculously.
They are.
And he thinks the big problem is the ears.
Yes.
It's like maybe the fact that you're dressed like a crazy person.
Nah. Oh. Explain it. Cue minor racism.
Uh-huh.
I love how this is them looking nonchalant.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? They're
And
terrible at this.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm amazed at that because
You
obviously,
got like old vehicles, period vehicles.
you know, according to Harlan Ellison, you know, he hates this.
Yeah.
Because obviously what he originally wanted is not what happened.
Right.
Them's the breaks. You
Yes.
know, that's what happens. Because it is amazing that his overall idea is amazing.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, obviously many fans, it still carries through beautifully.
It's a wonderful story.
Yeah. Stunning.
Regardless. And so...
And it's just amazing that something that he thinks has been ruined is considered like the best episode of all of it.
And
gonna just go up
Harlan
this.
Ellison's legendary incapacity to let things go
It's also what is legendary.
resulted in him eventually publishing a book.
Yes.
And a book which was just about
Yeah, I'm only halfway through that still.
the city on the edge of forever and how it was changed from his original idea.
It includes his original.
Yeah. If you're interested in the...
He's like, it's so easy to steal things in this century.
If you're interested in seeing exactly what Ellison's original story was, they've actually published a graphic novel which tells the original story based on his first script.
Here, because they're normal lighting, like daytime lighting,
he
like,
looks a lot greener.
It's the first time, and we've got 28 episodes now, that Spock actually looks green, although it's not really carrying down his neck, but he looks green hued.
Right, rather than just a little sallow.
Well, I feel like on the bridge and almost every other planet they go to with the lighting, he just looks tan. It comes across as tan.
Yeah.
Does not come across as any type of green whatsoever. Right. And that's what's funny because I think some people kind of forget that he is supposed to be, because they have copper blood. Vulcans. They would basically blush green. They bleed, green. Yeah. They're gonna have a green tinge to their skin.
Supposedly. It's not always
for realsies.
It's not always consistent.
No, because like in the movies and stuff, they again all look tan. They just look tan.
Yeah.
And one minor bit of dated racism is saying that Spock is Chinese and had a rice pigger accident.
That was a joke that Gene Kuhn tossed in there.
Because he thought it was hilarious?
Apparently.
And like, oh, well, there was a missionary there, and he took him, and he speaks English. Whatever works. How they would know things like that 300 years later is beyond me.
Yeah. Without even knowing they were coming to this time period. Yeah. Therefore, not having the chance to study up on it.
I mean, is Kirk really that much of a nerd that he just knows all of this stuff?
Kirk knows what the writer needs him to know.
He's also a genius. We just jacked these people's clothes. It's still Depression era and we stole people's clothing. Oh, look at how adorable they are. Oh, Shatner at his finest in these clothes.
Well, technically, it's only 1930, so... I think the Depression hit 1932?
Well, the way they have it here is that a lot of poor people and...
I could be wrong.
Really down on the luck.
Because I'm not a history genius the way Shatner or Kirk is.
Apparently is.
So, maybe I'm off on my years. And yet...
It broke.
And yet the battery.
I love this. Like, well, can't you just build something?
Yeah.
Basically, the only time we see kind of Spock straight up frustrated.
Right.
As in, like, are you kidding? You expect me to do it here, and then...
I'm supposed to rub sticks together and
then,
get the monitor to work?
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows exactly.
You don't have emotions, but I'm going to manipulate your emotions.
Yeah. He knows how to encourage.
Totally
he knows how to encourage him to
Yeah.
actually try. Oh.
And we have the lovely and accomplished Joan Collins.
I love that her first line to him, other than "Who's there," is "A lie is a terrible like way to have a first introduction."
Yeah.
It's not like, "Oh, you're handsome," or "Oh, you poor thing." And it was like, "Bitch, don't lie to me. Like, why are you here?"
Yeah.
Like... He is like, you do not know how to pick up ladies, man.
My hobby.
He's like, oh, geez, you're right. Oh, 15 cents an hour. We apparently don't know what to call him. Like, he's like, is this gonna sound weird?
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't have a first or last name, depending.
21st Street Mission. Obviously.
She's just so fun and sharp.
I love that she's very assertive.
Yes.
And intelligent and observant. You know, she's not like a simpering.
Yeah, I mean, well, basically all of the women that Kirk has encountered up to this point, and basically in general, are all, I mean, they're smart, they're accomplished, they're sometimes conniving, you know, using their wits and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's not a pushover.
But she specifically is this amazing hard-nosed little hard-ass. You know, I mean, comes in, there's just two strange men there, and she's very commanding of the situation.
Yeah.
But then also very, like, this, you know, angel, because she immediately is willing to help them.
Yeah, her life is motivated by her compassion.
And she is a woman alone running this mission.
Right, so she has to be tough.
Yes. And is going to instill some wholesome goodness into them, whether they like it or not.
Yep. Now, people know Joan Collins today.
He's like, no.
Because she starred in the super popular nighttime soap opera Dynasty.
Which
that was on the air for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And she was also the Siren on the 1966 Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. It's just like, if you're a piece of trash, leave. So she's crazy, because I'm sorry, anyone in the 1930s, I feel like, let alone a woman, who's just like, one day a man is going to travel the stars.
In some sort of spaceship.
I'm pretty sure everyone thinks she's a loon.
Leading humanity
like a straight
on
up
a
loon.
Star Trek.
Because that seems to be far beyond just someone having an idealistic idea of the future. She seems crazy.
Well, maybe
but she seems awesome, but she seems crazy.
Maybe she was just really into reading, like, science fiction magazines.
But then. It almost makes it seem like she must be... I mean, he says gifted insight, but it's like, almost makes it seem like she's a clairvoyant or some, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
For her to reference specifically harnessing the atom and having space flight. I mean, those are completely inconceivable notions in the 1930s. And it's a little weird for me, like... I get
harnessing the atom wasn't that far.
I get the point they're trying to make, but like for her to have knowledge to that degree or positive speculation to that degree.
Yeah, she's shockingly specific.
Yeah,
it's not just we will overcome hunger
and
need.
You know, in the future there will be no more wars.
Technology will enable us to. No, it's.
That's why I think it's a little weird. It's like whoa, like awfully specific. I didn't
Yes.
know you were...
New sources of energy, specifically atomic
Yeah,
power.
I didn't know that she was reading, like, all the scientific magazines that were being published at the time.
Well, come on. I mean, she can only read the hymn book so many times before they get boring.
Let's not forget that McCoy is batshit crazy and missing.
Right.
But, you know, you get carried away with them having landed here, found their little clothes that they stole, and then encountered this woman.
Yeah.
Like, you forget, oh, wait, no, they're trying to do a job here.
Well, I mean, that's what they need the money for, to buy all this
I'm just
stuff.
saying, like, you forget, like, oh, wait, no, there's a madman on the loose that they gotta find.
Yeah.
But there's a lot they have to do before they can be of any use.
Yeah.
He went shopping!
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Spock is basically trying to rub sticks together, and I have platinum.
5 or 6 pounds of platinum.
This amazing, blatant husband-wife thing going on here. Where it's like, honey, I must, like, have some new jewelry or, like, a new cooking pot or something. And the guy just got home after, like, a long day of work and picking up the food. And he was like, are you kidding me? He's so mad.
Yeah.
All I know is that they have conveniently timed it to have gotten there like a week ahead.
Right. Because they gotta have time to settle in and get the lay of the land before trying to nail down poor McCoy.
It's like, you don't have that long.
22 cents.
He's like, what? Okay. Also, oops.
Yeah. May as well just be honest with her.
I mean, really. And that just makes him seem crazy.
Right.
See, she's like, oh.
Or pissy.
Yeah, right? He is straight up pissy. His entire
I know, his whole body
demeanor
language.
is-
It's like, you want to know what that is?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask this bitch?
Yeah. But then also, they need to go, you know, do the work where they can to get the money
Gotta
to
make
attempt
the
to get
money.
things.
It's like, oh, I need that.
I need tiny tools.
Yeah, he's like Rocket Raccoon. I need that guy's eye.
So we will borrow steal it.
Yeah. I like how there isn't even the...
Oh! I just like how they're in the basement already looking really like
Yeah.
they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar like, we're sorry.
Right.
Because they know they're in trouble. He is trying to charm her
he
so
is.
hard.
He is. He's cranking up the charm.
Yeah. He's trying to be very casual about it, too.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh? I just love how she's like, no.
Like, you know what? I'll go along with the charm because I like it.
I feel like it's like, you're good looking, but like, your charm's is not gonna like win me over or something.
He always will.
Is basically the most romantic line said about Kirk and Spock. Like, I'm not even saying that in like a Spurk context. I'm just saying it is blatantly the most romantic line.
Sure.
He's at your side as if he's meant to be through all ages.
Captain,
I mean,
even when he doesn't say it, he says it.
I mean, that's not, and I feel like that just kind of comes out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. I mean,
like, captain is a little specific.
But it's a very profound thing for her to just randomly, to have this
Mhm.
character randomly say about the Kirk and Spock dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
they're holding
you
hands.
captain, a leader, and him by your side as if he, you know, always has and always will be. That's very, very specific
Yeah.
and very intense. Like, oh, looks so cute.
Sure. What was the latest war? Because we were in that one. I think this song is called Goodnight Sweetheart,
Yeah,
but if they're in 1930...
it's the best line.
Let me help.
Where's makeup bummers? He's really good at putting the moves on. Like, he is worth it.
Yeah, he is.
He's also such a nerd. I mean, come on. Who says I was like, oh, let me help 100
Mhm.
years from now?
Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing to
That's
say.
going to be more important than I love you.
Mhm.
You know?
So yeah, that song,
Yeah.
if they are in 1930,
Mm-hmm.
that song came from a year in the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the first thing he finds.
Bummer. Well, Kirk is randomly having a very deep personal connection with this woman.
I'm sorry, you're saying Kirk was working hard to change the past?
Unintentionally working hard to accidentally falling in love. Then all this is happening. Is her.
You're not gonna like it.
Oh. What?
She's the slum area angel.
Oh. Oh no. After all the work he just did. It literally burst into flames. As in, all the work I did
Yeah.
just caught on fire. Calling him Jim. Only happens when some personal exchanges happen.
Yep. She will become very important.
Or dead.
What?
Oh, his face. He's like, I'm already in love with her. Nah.
No.
Time is funny like that. Spock doesn't mess up. Like, just Spock doesn't. But Kirk is desperate to believe he's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Youth Keeler is the Nexus.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty awful. It's like... I mean, because right now there's the rest of the away team that is somehow on that planet with the Guardian Forever, and they're like in some type of loophole limbo where they still exist because the Enterprise doesn't exist. Like,
well, that's
Uhura was like, "There's no one up there. It's gone."
I mean, from the standpoint of this episode, whether or not they still exist back there is kind of immaterial.
It's that their world, their existence, as they knew it, is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Based on specifically Edith Keeler living or dying.
Yeah.
Who Kirk has very inconveniently fallen desperately in love with.
Yeah.
Like, desperately. Like, never before has he felt about someone the way he feels about Edith.
Well, I don't know.
He had Ruth.
I don't know if he's fallen
like,
in love with her yet, but he's definitely attracted to her.
Well, he's feeling conflicted, too. You can see, like, all over his face. I mean, I'm
yeah.
absolutely love Shatner's performance in this because you can tell, like, he's just... It's not the Captain Kirk we're familiar with, who is sure of himself.
Right.
And confident and...
It's McCoy.
And commanding. This is a guy who is very, very personally and emotionally distraught.
Yeah.
And conflicted.
And McCoy hasn't calmed down since he's jumped through the donut.
Thank God he came at night in that beautiful dancer's jump into the 1930s.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he had been during the daytime, he just would have been, like, rounded up and sent to the loony bin. And that was that. And so, conveniently, it's empty streets.
Yeah.
And that's it. I feel like that milk was expensive. Valuable back then, at least. That's why the guy was stealing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just hungry.
Yes.
Because of the Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Stock market would have crashed the year earlier, 1929. Mm-hmm. Things would have been going to crap since then. Yeah.
I still feel like she's a loon. Like, the things that she foresees, basically, are pretty extreme for someone in the 1930s.
They're a little too specific.
Yeah. But, I mean, for Kurt, I mean, she's kind of like the perfect woman. I mean, she is dreaming and basically prophesizing things that he knows for facts happen.
Yeah. She
dreams of a world he comes from. And, I mean, she's smart. Yeah, she's beautiful, but she's smart. She's commanding, assertive, hopeful. I mean...
Oh, now McCoy's trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
But, I mean, you can see why he's just totally, like, lost for her, because... She's amazing.
I love the fact that even though he's crazed and paranoid,
he's still concerned.
He still has control of, like, his logical reasoning.
Which is a little weird.
So it's like he's trying to figure out where they are based on physical clues.
Right? Which is kind of, like, intense.
Yeah.
But Spock had mentioned that it was just, like, they have this extreme paranoia that, like, someone's out to get them.
Yeah.
When you've been injected with enough... Whatever that was.
But I mean, when you're having like an emotional attack, you're not always prepared to
he's like
analyze things.
He's going into
logically.
like doctor mode, analyzing this guy's form.
He's looking at the stars. He's analyzing the local fauna.
Yes. And thinks this is all just made up.
Yeah.
None of it's real. I mean, he still is
part of his paranoid delusion
that this is all fake.
Right. Well, also, he had no idea that he was jumping through a time portal.
He doesn't know what the Guardian of Forever is because he's crazy. So, I mean, it's perfectly reasonable.
So why would he even think that
it's actually perfectly reasonable, considering he's crazy, that he thinks he's in just some made-up construction.
Yeah.
He feels very strongly about the horrors of
primitive
medical technology.
Yeah.
I mean, he's throwing
the biggest tantrum.
Yes, and then he's through and through a doctor at heart.
Yeah, and this guy is a pickpocket apparently.
Yes. I just think it's interesting that McCoy has on his what is basically the away team belt. They only wear the black belts. Previously, the beautiful gold suede belts.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're on a mission.
Right.
He wasn't on a mission.
No, he was on the bridge.
When he was on the bridge, and so I think it's a little weird.
Caring for Sulu.
That he would
have a weapon. That he walks around armed.
With the Phase 1.
Yeah,
the Phaser 1.
The Phaser 1.
Yeah. That this guy stole and is going to accidentally kill himself with. Right. Oh my god, he just blowed up.
That's it for him. Bloop. But it conveniently gets rid of them accidentally leaving behind high technology, I guess.
And teaches you a lesson not to steal.
Right. Don't steal.
Because you'll die.
Right.
The end.
And you'll deserve it. So yeah, I mean, I guess...
the bulbs are growing.
I guess we're assuming that maybe he had grabbed a weapon belt or a weapon on his way to the transporter room.
I guess. It's awfully...
Well, no, think about it. If you're paranoid...
if you're paranoid.
Yeah.
You're gonna grab a weapon and stuff. Sure, you can explain it that way.
Yeah, but it is the kind of thing which you need to explain out because it's not immediately apparent.
Oh.
That's kind of crucial to the episode.
Oh, he's just so sad about it all. And I really love the interactions between Kirk and Spock here. I mean, it's a great piece of character development for both of them. I mean, it's extreme character development for Kirk,
Yeah.
but also for Spock, because you're seeing how the Kirk Spock dynamic works. Yes, Spock is half Vulcan. Yes, his emotions are very buried, but he's very, very caring in this episode in how he is kind of working around Kirk, and I want to say almost treating him with kid gloves in a way. You know.
And now things are converging around
nuclear.
Oh no, there's Spock! Spock!
Convenient comedic moments.
If you weren't wearing this stupid knit cap, your Vulcan ears would have heard and recognized his voice.
But it's like, because she's a magnet focal point, like,
yeah, she's the nexus of this timeline.
But again, like, Spock is, well, one, he's pissy, and I love it, because he's having to work in basically the Stone Age, trying to make their technology work.
Right.
And it frustrates, you can tell it frustrates him. It's just adorable.
Yeah, he can't get enough platinum.
Yes, like, none of that's working. But he gets it to work, and he's just seeing the facts, which are, okay, I'm seeing two different possible futures, and it centers around whether the specific woman we've run into lives or dies. He's very aware that Kirk has become overly emotionally involved with this person.
Yeah. And now it's interesting because basically we're finding out that she is like an anti-war activist.
Yes.
And because she's an anti-war activist, if she lived, it would end up destroying the world.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. It seems very, like, not anti-pacifist, but just...
But a little bit.
Pacifism is not all it maybe is cracked up to be.
I mean, there's a time for everything, I guess.
I think it's a very interesting... I mean, don't write it unless you mean it. It seems like a very specific point someone was trying to make in this episode that wasn't Arlen Ellison, that... peace is not the answer to everything, which seems a little weird.
Yeah.
Because specifically, the pacifist must die for the world as they know it.
Before she can influence the world.
Properly, yeah.
And
it's crazy.
I mean...
Oh, he says he's sorry. I mean, why would a Vulcan apologize? But Spock would apologize, because... When he says Jim, which he specifically, it's pretty much almost always Jim when it's a personal exchange.
Yeah. And
not a captain-like scenario. What a way to console a guy who confesses that he is in love with someone, which I'm going to say he does not do lightly.
Right.
Yes, he enjoys pretty, like, being around a pretty face, but...
I don't remember the first time he has said... told somebody that he was in love.
I am in love with this woman. And what is the consoling response? She's gotta die. like, I'm sorry to hear that, because she's gotta die. It's not...
I feel like buried within there's also, like, are you an idiot? You know, you've known for a while now that might be a possibility.
Well, it's like he's stating the facts, you know, which is all he can do, is basically a reminder, a gentle reminder of, like, I mean, well, one, what he's going to say, congratulations, or that's terrible. He's not going to give an emotional response. He's going to give a factual response of like, you know, she's going to die, right? Like, we've already proven this, that in order to preserve, like, our existence.
So I can definitely see why Ellison would be mad about, because he was definitely in favor of the anti-war movement. It's the 60s. It's a huge thing, protesting against the Vietnam War. And you could definitely see why he'd be mad that they basically took the anti-war character and said that she is going to cause the destruction of the world.
And so she must die.
Right.
I like it that he just thinks he's hallucinating. You're not really here. Oh, poor McCoy. But yeah, he's been found. He's not crazy anymore.
Yeah.
He's just watching her go up the stairs.
That's right.
Like a gentleman do.
Oh!
He was quick there.
Spock's like,
Yeah.
no, you can't save her life.
Yeah, he's like, seriously, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I would have let her.
He's
I
so-
would have let her
he's
fall
so
down the
conflicted.
stairs. Yeah.
He's so conflicted, and that's the
And then,
beauty
like,
of this
Spock's
episode.
kind of like, he sees him having a personal exchange and he goes back in. You
Yeah.
know? He doesn't need to. He could just still stand out there and wait, but...
But that's not how Edith Keeler's supposed to die anyway. She doesn't die falling down the stairs.
well,
she dies in a traffic accident.
But at this point, it's like, we don't know. We can't be 100% sure, so...
Spock said it was a traffic accident.
I know, but then apparently he forgets it here. Because he's all like, you should have let the bitch fall. Like, just... I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if he's just saying it as an example of, like, you can't...
Right.
You
You
can't.
have to stifle your instinct to save her life.
Like, that might have been, like, we know it could theoretically be just a traffic accident or some time, but, like, she's supposed to die in the next 24 hours. You can't go saving her. That's pretty awful.
Yeah.
This one person must die.
Mm-hmm.
This one person you've unfortunately fallen in love with must die so millions can live.
Yeah.
It's obviously the entire concept of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Well,
Far before
I think
we
it's
got...
more importantly, it'll
Wrath of
change
Khan.
the future, you know? Because
Yes.
let's face it, by their time, by the 23rd century,
Mhm.
all those millions of people
Yes.
are dead
Yeah,
anyway.
it's not just the... Well, but it's not just people who died in a war.
Yeah, it's not just the question of people dying, it's the question of the timeline
Mhm.
changing massively.
Yes. But it also is the needs of the many.
Yay, McCoy's all better.
Yeah. That coffee is amazing.
I know.
Magically made him better.
Yep.
She just does that.
She saved his life.
I love how she thinks that he was just like messed up drunk. Just
Right.
messed up drunk. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't. I can't explain it.
I don't
but-
know what kind of like bathtub gin they were drinking at that time that would make you pale and covered with
Clark
splotches.
Gable.
Clark Gable.
But she says my young man because she is legit already dating
Yeah.
Kirk. Like they're basically
definitely. They're together.
in the theoretical week that they've been there.
Right. They're totally together.
You don't say like my man unless it's like, yeah.
And it's funny because in 1930, when this was taking place,
Mm-hmm.
Clark Gable wasn't a famous movie star yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he becomes famous in like he starts starring in movies in like 31 or 32.
Okay, so why do an out of incorrect reference?
Well, originally, I guess it was scripted to refer to Richard Dix, who was a big movie star at the time.
He can't stop himself.
Yeah, I know he's addicted.
Yeah.
But
Oh, they're holding hands.
like today, nobody in 1967 remembered who Richard Dix was.
But everyone
apparently.
knows who Clark Gable is.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So
He's so excited. Oh my god,
McCoy.
he's like, this is everything.
yes,
I mean, it's a very serious thing to know
yeah.
that he's here, and if they miss that he was
that's
here.
kind of the whole reason that they
He's
came
so
back.
cute though.
now.
He just runs back over
Yeah.
screaming, Spock, Spock! Ah!
The band's back together.
Oh, I know. They're so
The
cute.
band's back
I mean, look
together.
at them. They're like hugging and
I
cheering.
know.
And it's so freaking cute. Also, the street is not that long, but it takes her forever. And then she's dead. But, like, it's the longest walk. Oh, his face. This is the worst. It's like the worst line.
Yeah.
Because it's... Here's a dagger, find the heart, and twist.
He knows.
And you can... I feel like you can feel or read how Spock feels about this, because he is well
definitely.
aware of the situation that has just occurred
Yeah.
and what it costs.
You read it all
Kirk.
over him. That's like a brilliant piece of Nimoy's
Yes.
understated acting.
I mean, McCoy has no idea what's going on, so
Right.
you understand, like, what the hell
Yeah,
did
you
you
can't
just do?
blame him.
But for Spock to be like, he
Yeah.
is well aware of what's happened.
Meanwhile,
these poor guys-
accomplished.
The-
They haven't been waiting long because,
It's been
as
a
far as they're
minute.
concerned, yeah.
It's been a minute. The rest of them, well, Kirk and Spock, it's been like a week, and McCoy's been like a day, and
Yeah.
for everyone else, it's been a minute.
Guardian's like, come travel through time with me again sometime.
Y'all come back now.
I was like, no thanks. We've got a ship.
God.
We can slingshot around the sun.
It's just interesting because everyone is kind of like, I mean, they're waiting for their captain to say something.
Yeah.
And that's what he says. I mean, the whole time is him just... He's
traumatized.
Yeah.
He's straight up PTSDing about
in that moment of everything that just happened.
Basically kill the woman he loves.
Yeah, and then also you're thrust back into everything's normal now, but not normal, and everyone's waiting for him to.
And him cursing that way was kind of a big deal on network television back in 1967, because up to this point there'd been maybe like 2 mentions of the word hell on the series, but they'd always been in reference to hell.
Like, this is a hell, or we're going to hell.
Exactly. And here, he's just cursing. And so...
It's interesting they list her as Sister Edith Keeler, because that would imply that she's a nun, but... Well,
no, it's just a lot of the religious organizations, religious-based organizations.
Okay.
Like, didn't you see Guys and Dolls?
No.
You know, yeah, you did.
No.
Yeah, it's a great musical.
Anyways, don't distract.
And so they're running like a Salvation Army-like organization, and they call each other sister and brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get you.
So, but yeah, the producers fought for them to keep in that last line.
I think that's important.
Let's get the hell out of
obviously,
here.
It meant a lot to them, and that.
It just captures the emotional.
The fact that they wouldn't be
content.
like, okay, sure, we'll have him say something else. They were
moment.
like, no, he needs to say this. This is basically, essential to wrapping up the story.
We already toned it down from using the F word to the hell.
He's got to say hell. And it's interesting because it's not a very Captain Kirk. It's a Jim Kirk moment. It's not a Captain Kirk moment. Captain Kirk is like confident and assured, and
and that guy is
this is a guy
just wrecked.
That's a guy who's not actually on duty mentally at the moment. He is like, let's just get the hell out of here, let's just go. So I don't give a fuck, I don't even want to look at you guys. I just need to go like to my room,
right, with a bottle of Saurian brandy,
and that's it. It's it.
Yeah. So
it's devastating. This episode's
emotionally
so sad,
wrenching episode.
Yeah,
it makes me tear up. And
an amazing, very very character driven and developing episode for Kirk, for Spock.
It's got great character development for the two of them and their relationship. And also asks interesting kind of what if sci-fi type of questions, so a terrific episode, thanks to the genius of both Harlan Ellison and Dorothy Fontana, who hammered this thing into television shape. I mean, it's just interesting because obviously, as far as Ellison is concerned, this is a piece of crap.
And as far as everyone else is concerned, it's a piece of genius. I mean, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
And that's how TV works. You know?
It's a collaborative medium. You can't get away from that. All right, so
now that our heart is out of our chest.
Yes. Stop on the floor. Thank you very much. Next episode will be the final episode of season 1, Operation Annihilate.
Snot pancakes.
Yep, you know it, the flying omelets.
Yeah, mucus omelets, whatever. They're disgusting.
All right. So join us again for episode 29, Operation
Finish
Annihilate.
up season 1.
Yep.
See ya.